Hey everyone, this is Eric, the Ab Pro, and right now I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm basically going to be interviewing myself right now. So some of you have seen my pictures, you've seen my progress that I've made, but I want to give you a little bit about the background behind all of that, and hopefully this kind of gives you a little bit of insight into who I am and why I created the abpro.com. And like I said, hopefully just kind of adds a little more depth to the person that you see online all the time. First question I'm going to answer for you is, how and when did I start training? It's a little bit of a complicated question for me. After my younger brother was born, my mother was very determined to get back into shape, and so she would go to the gym every day, and she would take me with her. Now, they had one of those daycare centers there, and at that daycare center, and I remember this very clearly, they had a little window, and in that window, it was for parents so that they could peek in and just check up on their kids. But I would always look out and I would see everyone working out, and so after so many years of being in that daycare center and always seeing people working out, I became very determined to start working out as well. And it's kind of funny because I was so young that you wouldn't think that I'd be interested in working out, but it's just because I was raised in an environment where it just seemed normal, and it seemed like the thing that adults do. So as soon as I turned 13 and I was able to get my own membership, I signed up. I had a personal trainer. He went through all the basic movements with me and exercises to make sure that I was doing them properly. And I was probably one of those annoying kids that he kind of dreaded every time he saw me walk in, because I would ask him so many questions, and I would always ask him, am I doing this right? What about this? But I was very interested. So that's how I started. Throughout the years, I had periods of time where I became very dedicated, and I would work out consistently. In high school, I even joined the wrestling team, and I got myself in really good shape through wrestling practice. I wasn't a very dedicated wrestler because I was doing it more for the conditioning than to actually be successful at the sport, but it gave me the discipline needed in order to start competing once I got into college. Now, my first couple years in college were a little bit, I guess, probably typical for most people. Freshman and sophomore year, I'd go out and I'd party all the time. I was still living at home, but I was very respectful towards my parents, so I'd go ahead and give them a call if I felt like I had too many drinks and let them know that I'd be seeing them in the morning. But it was very typical. I still worked out very consistently, but the diet wasn't there. I was going out and partying all the time. And what ended up happening is I went on a study abroad program where I went to Spain. And when I was in Spain, I was still in that party mode, so I went out, went to the clubs, partied all the way to, till 6 o'clock in the morning, and wasted pretty much all my money. So after about a couple weeks, maybe a month of that, I kind of decided I should find something less expensive to occupy my time with. And so I started getting back in the gym and trying to eat healthy. And after that experience, once I came back to the States, I just had this motivation to do something I've never done before. So I signed up for my first bodybuilding competition, and I actually started becoming very active on campus in college by joining student organizations and participating in multiple events. So I ended up doing my first bodybuilding show, and I was very happy with the progress I was able to make. It was the first time I ever had six-pack abs, but I always knew that I could do a little bit better. That was my first attempt, and I was very happy with my progress, but I wanted to know exactly what the pros do in order to get on stage and be completely shredded and in shape. So I did another one, a couple of years later. And eventually I found myself with this opportunity to work with a man by the name of Sam Bakhtiar. And Sam actually owns a personal training studio not too far from my house over in Chino. And what I did is I basically, went to Sam and asked him if he was hiring for a position in marketing, because this is what my major was in. And he took a big risk by hiring me, because I was this young kid. I was passionate, but I didn't have a whole lot of experience. But he took me under his wing. He showed me how his business operation worked, and he also coached me in terms of my dieting and contest prep. I did a couple photo shoots, and then I started competing, and now I'm here with my own website, theappro.com, and I'm a national physique competitor in the NPC. So it's been progressing ever since. There wasn't one period where I guess like a light went off and I discovered fitness, but I think as we progress, our goals constantly, the bar gets set a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and so we're always striving to make improvements. And who knows, maybe a couple of years from now, I'm going to be in even better shape. I'm going to be, a professional or on the cover of magazines. But for now, I'm very happy with where I'm at. And when I look back to where I was, a lot of it just over time just progressed. And if I didn't have the support from friends and family, and obviously the guidance that Sam's given me, I don't know where I'd be, but that's basically how I started. The next question I'm going to answer for you is, what's my favorite quotes? Or quote, I should say. I think my favorite quote, and I might not be saying this right, is the struggles of today set up the foundation of tomorrow. And basically what that means is, I feel like so many people are only concerned with the present or what's happened in the past, and you really have to look at what you're doing now to set up your future. I feel like the people who are most successful are going to be the people who who have a strategy in life, who have a goal and are living their life in order to reach that goal, because they know what's going to make them happy and they know how they're going to get there. So with fitness, that's huge. You have to prepare a lot in order to get ready for shows and to get into shape. It doesn't just happen by accident. It doesn't happen overnight. The next thing I'm going to answer for you is, what are the top 3 tips I would give someone looking to get six-pack abs? One of them is just be realistic with yourself. Getting six-pack abs is not easy, so you have to be realistic with the amount of work it's going to take, the amount of time it's going to take for you to get there, and the fact that it's a lifestyle change. If you really want to get six-pack abs and you haven't been able to achieve it before, you're going to have to change your lifestyle. Number 2 is, and this is huge, you can't out-train a bad diet. I'm sure you probably heard this a lot on my website. A lot of athletes will tell you this. But basically, no matter how hard you work out, if you're not eating right, your body's never going to transform. You're never going to get those six-pack abs. Probably the third one is, you have to lift weights. And this goes for both the guys and the girls. A lot of people think you have to do only cardio. You're going to do hours and hours of cardio. But in reality, you need to lift weights, because that muscle is what's going to burn those calories. For every pound of muscle on your body, you burn an extra 50 calories at rest. That means you don't have to be working out in order to burn those 50 calories. Just having that muscle on your body is going to burn those extra calories. So to summarize everything, you need to have realistic goals and expectations. You need to diet properly, and you have to lift weights. You have to train to gain muscle, because, like I said, that's what it's going to speed up your metabolism. See, the next question is, in general, do I have difficulty gaining muscle, losing fat, or am I a genetic freak that we all love to hate? Well, I'm definitely not a genetic freak, and if any of you have seen my before pictures, you'll see that I have a easy time gaining weight. Overall, I think I'm a mesomorph in general, meaning I could fairly easily gain or lose weight, but I don't have one of those bodies where I could eat whatever I want and just look muscular and shredded. I have to put a lot of time and effort into getting in shape, so like I said, it's not something easy. And just to reiterate this and to reinforce this fact, when I was wrestling, they had us do brutal workouts. I never had six-pack abs. So, if I was a genetic freak, I'd be able to eat whatever I want, maybe just do some light workouts and I'd look ripped, but I'm obviously not. The next question I have is, what foods do I keep in my fridge? Well, it all depends, but in general, I keep a lot of lean chicken, eggs, fibrous vegetables, and that's pretty much it. Oh, sugar-free Jell-O as well. But you just try to keep the food that you have in your fridge as clean as possible, because if you're at home and you're going to have those cravings, you're going to go for whatever's available. So try not to make it convenient for you to break your diet. Try to make it very inconvenient for you to break your diet. And if you're going to cheat, use it as a reward. Every once a week or on a particular day, go ahead and go out and have something that you enjoy. What's your favorite cheat meal? This is kind of funny because my cheat meal actually changes. When I was doing my first competition, I just really wanted French toast. When I did my second competition, it was macaroni and cheese. And right now, I don't really know what my favorite cheat meal would be. Maybe just some good pasta or pizza. Yeah, Chicago style pizza sounds good. How do you manage to stay motivated? Well, I stay motivated by doing competitions, by sharing my goals and the deadlines that I'm going to reach them by with friends and family. And like I said, I basically just try to share with people my progress so that they could hold me accountable, because I know that it's very difficult and very difficult to stay motivated, because it's so easy to get distracted and to want to eat whatever you want and maybe not go into the gym all the time. But if I have a contest that I'm getting ready for, and I'm telling my friends and family about these fitness goals that I'm trying to achieve, it keeps me motivated. So